Actually, have you ever thought about making the online course or offer courses as an additional stream of revenue?
Yeah, so that's something that we are doing because, I wasn't thinking about that because I wanted to really just help people like write books. But then I met up with actually a friend of mine, and she was telling me about, this idea that she had for writing kind of like children's books. And I was just like, I want to help you like do this, because I think it's such a great idea. But the truth is, like, I don't have the time to actually sit down with you. And it's not the most helpful thing for me to just be like, okay, well, this is, like, you write a book and then you, like, this is what you do to market it. And then you, like, go through this printing company. Like, it's more complex than that, you know? And so I was talking to my husband. I was like, we have to do something. I feel like there's something here that's missing because I want to help people more, but I don't have the time. And, the truth is I would actually need to sit with them and like actually walk alongside of them through a lot of the process. And so I was sitting there, I was, with my baby trying to put her to bed, and then like this idea came, and I was like, oh, what if I just create an online course where it's like, because then I can actually put time into it, where it's worth my time as well. So I can, it could be like a really detailed process of like, this is how you create, like, this is process of writing a book, and then this is how you market it, and then this is how you actually like print, right? Like, these are the companies that we've tried. You guys can do it. You guys can like try these companies. You guys can get samples. And so, it could be like a lot more detailed, and we can walk right alongside of people, and we can provide the support that they would need. So we're hoping to do that through launchology.net. So that's like another website that my husband and I are doing more of our business end things.
That's fantastic. And just seeing the quality of this book, I know that Launchology would be just stellar quality that people can really benefit from. If you offer something of high value, then it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I think that's always huge, especially nowadays. Like, I mean, design and all of those things. I'm such a person who focuses on like aesthetics, and also I want to, like, I'm a person who cares about quality, and so that's something that I want to offer. Like, if it's something that I don't want for myself, like, why would I offer it to other people? So, yeah, that's huge.
So since we made a book, and we made a couple of books now for you, what are some things that people do not know about the book industry?
Something people don't know about the book industry. I don't know. I guess like I've done like self-publishing, and so I don't know like about the general self-publishing, or book industry. But I would just, a lot of work, but it's totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
All right. So on your journey from making children's books, what are some of the things you've learned so far? The biggest things you've learned so far?
The biggest thing is to really let people know about it before you even create it. This is something that my husband and I have learned. And, so like, it's just some lessons from a lot of other businesses that we've tried. A lot of times we've tried businesses and they never worked out. They never panned out because we never tested it. Like, we never asked people if they were interested in it or if they would even like pay for it, right? Because that's the real test. Like, are you willing to pay for it? When people actually give you money, then you actually know, like, oh, people actually want it, and then if people aren't willing to, because that's when like, people are actually interested. Because if you just ask people, like your friends and family, they're going to be nice and they're going to be like, oh yeah, I would totally get it.
Yeah.
But when they actually have to pay for it, then if they actually would, So that's how you test things. And a lot of our other businesses have failed because we never tested it. We were just like, oh, this is such a good idea. Let's just try it, And then like you put all this money into it, like you build a domain. I mean, you buy the domain, you build a website, and then like nobody comes. But with Hmong Baby, I think what has really worked well is like, even for my first set of flashcards, what I did was I hired my graphic designer and she created the images. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to do this. Like, like, so I put it on the shelf for a month. Like, I was like, okay, we're not going to do it. Yeah. And then, like, after a little while, I was just like, you know what? I already got the images designed, I might as well just try, right? So like what I did was I actually just printed, I made the flashcards, like I designed them, and then I printed them in my home printer. And then my husband just like on his iPhone, he recorded this video of me going through the flashcards with my daughter, and I shared it on my personal page, and people just like loved it. And then we created like a better quality video of me kind of doing the same thing, and like people started like messaging me like, Mykou, like where can I get those? And so I was like, you know what, people want it, why don't I just ask, right? So I tested, and I was like, okay, if you guys want these flashcards, send me $20 through Facebook Messenger. It was so ghetto. And then people started sending me money, and so I actually like knew before I actually even spent money like to create the flashcards that people really wanted it. And so then I busted my butt and got these cards made before Christmas 2016. And so I did the same thing with my books. I got them pre-ordered, like you saw on social media, like this book I had it available for pre-orders in March, and my goal was to get 300 books pre-ordered, and I reached my goal. And so I was able to finance it before I actually like had to make it. So I was able to not lose profit because of that. And then I also knew people actually wanted the book. So there's so many benefits to like testing your product before you actually make it.
How much money do you get per book?
So, you mean like profit?
Right.
So I think for each book we get about $11.
That's a great profit margin.
So it's a pretty good profit margin.
Wow. So we only see Mykou Thao, we only see your beautiful face, but apparently there's this other significant side of you, your husband.
Yes.
What's his role, and how has your relationship been affected with this journey?
So his role is basically like operating the whole business. He does all the back end stuff. I am the face. I do a lot of the design. I do the creative, like all the creative things. And I think, I do the projects and stuff. And he does like the finances for it. He does the website building. He does a lot of back end things.
So back to how you launched it and how you had to test it. I've on my own, YouTube journey, I've listen to a lot of entrepreneurial advice, and a lot of them say that you have to offer something of value, and you have to, usually that means you give them access to time or access to money. That is something of value. So perhaps with your flashcards, or somebody didn't have to make them, the mom didn't have to make them anymore.
Right.
You offer something of value to the end user.
Right.
That's what you did.
Yeah, and I think that's huge, right? Like, another way of thinking about it is just serving your audience and giving more than taking. And I think, like, this is, for me, like, I know what my audience values and what they want because I'm my audience. Like, I'm creating things that I want for my daughter, and I'm able to connect with other, like, particularly moms who want the same for their children, to teach them the Hmong language, but, like, speaking Hmong isn't enough, right? Like you need more than that, because kids are really visual and they like touching things and they love books, and so that's why this is like so valuable. And also, like, you think about a book, like this will last you like decades if you take good care of it, like even though it is like $20, right? Like some people are like, oh, that's so expensive, but for me, I'm like, a book is invaluable. Truly, like books I don't mind spending money on at all. Like for my kids, I'm gonna have a rule where like if they want a book, like as long as it's a book, they can have it. Okay. Like, because books are so valuable, like they last the test, like they will last, even, who knows, right? Like in the next decade or so, even if all computers die off, books will still be around.
You don't need batteries.
You don't need batteries. And also, like, if we look at history, like, we think like, oh, nowadays, like, we're able to keep so much more documentation on people. But I don't remember who said this, but like, the author who wrote the Steve Jobs book. So he wrote a biography on Steve Jobs, but then he also wrote a biography on was it Michelangelo? But he actually was able to write like more easily on Michelangelo because there was so much more documentation on paper. Like he kept really detailed journals, and nowadays, digital things, like it's so easily lost. And so, I mean, this is, just all to say, like, books are amazing, and these will last a long time. And so that's like, for me, like, that's why I'm like, this is what I need to make. and this is what will bring value. So
that is great. Even though we're talking about books, did you might ever go to the digital platform like ebooks at all?
We do. We kind of, so we have ebooks, and you can download them onto your mobile like phones or like apps or even your laptops and stuff. And it's kind of like a web app where you can like click, like it'll download like an icon, like how apps do, and then you can click on it and then you can like scroll through the images, and so it's kind of like an app. But I know a lot of people are asking about apps, and yeah, I was talking to my husband about like, you know, apps yesterday actually, and so we have some ideas, but we want to make it like fun and interactive and not just simply like throwing a kid in front of a screen type of thing. So yeah, it'll be coming, but we'll see.
That's great. So back to your husband, how has your relationship developed and been affected through this?
Yeah, so again, my husband does all the back end stuff. The funny thing is, like, I actually really enjoy being with my husband. Like, John Gottman, who is researcher on relationships and a psychologist, he says that the test for, or the difference between couples who have a great marriage and couples who don't is the friendship that they have. It's friendship. It's, you know, a lot of people think, oh, is it communication? Is it like being able to like understand each other? Like, no, it's friendship. And I feel like my husband and I have a great friendship. And John Gottman defines friendship by, you know, saying like it's that you mutually enjoy being together and then you mutually respect each other. And I feel like that's what we have. And so we're able to work really well together. We've known each other since we were in kindergarten, and
I'm sorry, what?
we've known each other since we were in kindergarten.
Your husband?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So we were not dating then. But like,
that is so sweet.
yeah, it's awesome. So we have, you know, we know like our friend groups, like we're really connected. But like even in high school, we would do projects together, and you know, like we've worked really well together. And so even for Hmong Baby, like he's a lot more gifted on the more analytical, more like that side of thing, and I'm way more creative. And obviously, like there are times when we disagree, and I'm like, no, I think we should do it like this, and he's like, no, we should do it like this, you know. But at the end, like that's what real teamwork is, right? Like it's not just that, oh, I agree with you all the time, Linda, like I think your ideas are great, like let's just do whatever you want. But it's also not just like, no, like you need to listen to me. It really is like this coming together, having like friction, and then creating something better, you know. That's what real teamwork is, and that's when you know you have a good team. And so I feel like that's what my husband and I have. We're able to create better quality, like everything that we do, because we do have friction, but then also because we have different gifts that we bring, and we're willing to listen to each other, and in the end, like you come out with something better. So
you're stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
And what does your husband do?
And so I kind of don't know how to answer this. Like we both do Hmong Baby, and we both like take care of our kids. So what we do is we swap days when we work, and then on the days when we're not working, we're taking care of the kids. So like, because it would be nice if like our parents could help with the kids, but the truth is we both come from really large families. I have 8 kids in my family. He has 11 in his family.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, our parents are taking care of our nieces and nephews, and I'm like, I don't want to add more to that. Like, it's already a lot of work. And so we want to actually be the ones who are the main influencers of our children's lives. And so again, like what we do is, you know, my husband will work on Mondays, and then I'll work on Tuesdays, and when we're not working, then we're taking care of the kids. So
wow. So from Hmong Baby, you guys have been able to have a lifestyle that you both are home. It can provide a living where you guys both are home. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You should be so proud.
Thanks.
You should be so proud.
I am. It's been fun.